Here are the rules. At the start of each game, we spin a random wheel of tribes to determine what we will play. Whichever tribe we land on, we have to try and finish the game with at least 5 of that tribe on board. If we place in the top 4 and we do not have at least 5 of that tribe on board, we must instantly concede our next game. The final goal is to get 8,000 MMR.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Wheel of Tribes. Yo people, welcome back to the Wheel of Tribes. This video I recorded, well, the 3 games in this video I recorded before I went on holiday. I'm just editing them now, so they are pre-patch, so if you notice that, that's why. So we start off rolling Naga and we pick the Vandar champion. I think both champions were just kind of meh, so we just went with Vandar. Bit of extra health, can't say no. We didn't go 3-on-3 this game. We stayed low because we got the shell collector, which means we could just double buy there. We buy the Whistler into the gold, which is nice for next turn. Chef's choice on the Naga, get the Slitherer. And do we end up selling something here? Yeah, we just sell because we've got 2 gold left, so we can't really roll. So we sell to buy the Fire Dancer there. End up winning that fight. And we level on turn 6 and we just buy a Rampager there just for a bit of tempo basically. Looks like our Fire Dancer is actually buffing his board here because he's got the self-damage beast, so not the best. And we end up taking a bit of damage. I'm not sure about Shudderwock beasts, but fair play. We get the Chimera, which is always good, and we reborn the Chimera. Works well, and we hit the other Chimera from the scope. Works very well with the Fire Dancer, buffs our whole board. And this was pre-nerf Chimera, so they are buffing 3 times per combat. So yeah, very strong. We end up winning that fight, even though he's fairly strong. I'm starting to feel like people are actually getting a bit better now. And we just level that turn and take the gold. And then we level again. This is the sort of thing you can do when you've got Chimera because they're so strong. And I end up buying a Myrmidon there, and it gets sniped straight away. But I was just hoping to get some Chimera buffs on the Myrmidon because then they just get multiplied because it's the Myrmidon. So, and also obviously we have to play Naga, so I thought it was a good early pickup. We leveled to 6 on turn 9 and we don't take damage just because we've got the Chimeras. We used the staff to find a better shot of Nagas, but they were all terrible, so we just skipped past it and upgraded into nothing. So that was a brilliant turn. We just basically did nothing, but looks like the Chimera is going to carry again. Yep, gets reborn and we end up beating Shudder. We get the triple on the Chimera. We still turn 11, we've been rolling on 6 for a bit now and we still haven't hit any decent Naga. We get the Nala and I end up taking the tree here just because I need a bit of damage. I mean, look, this guy's looking pretty big, and at this point with no Nagas it's not looking too good for us really. You want to have either like a Lord of Gains or what's he called, the guy who gives you a tavern spell, Silavas. So we end up buying the Corrupted Cupcakes here, and then we roll into the shop with the fungus in, which is nice to eat, and we have the shell out in our hand. So we use the shell out on it and then eat everything onto the Chimera, and hopefully the Chimera can carry us. And now we can see where all our Naga have gone. He's got the Silavas, the Lord of the Gains, he's got like the whole Naga combo that we sort of need. So at this point I'm sort of thinking, how can we play without the Silavas and without the Lord of Gains? And it's basically to try and get big with the shell out and then buy the cultist like we do here and just basically respawn the big Chimera. Technically the Chimera is all type, so it counts as a Naga, so as long as we have other Nagas on board then we're alright. I was thinking about possibly freezing for the Titus there, but that would mean we have too many, well, yeah, because currently we've got the Rampager and the cultist on board, which are 2 non-Nagas, so if we played a Titus with it, then that would be 3 non-Nagas and we would fail the challenge. So I decided to not freeze for that, and we end up losing the fight there. We buy the money, get rid of the Rampager because we need to do that ultimately. Get a reborn. Oh no, we get the taunt because we need to make sure the Chimera dies first. And shell out on the fungus. Buy the beetles because beetles is so good. So yeah, we're basically trying to make sure we have a big Chimera. We buff it a bit with health there with the pirate buffer. And yeah, with the big Chimera, we just respawn the big Chimera, and then hopefully that's enough to win, and we have a few other Naga doing a bit of damage. The Myrmidon's not too small now, is it? Like, it's 100, so that's something at least. But yeah, with no Silvas, no loader gains this late on, it's kind of tough. So I'm making the best of a bad situation. I know this guy's got a big Myrmidon taunted, so we end up picking up the Quilboar that turns into a 3-3, which I think wins us this combat, assuming we win. I can't remember. But you can see we do actually have the required amount of Naga on board. What with the Shelemental, the Myrmidon, the Slither Spear, the Chimera. Oh, we end up actually killing him here. So there you go. We managed to win without finding any Silvas or Lord of Gains this game, and we weren't playing either Deep Blue, Zesty comp, so I was pretty happy with that. So we end up rolling Elementals on this one, and we get Phelan, who's a pretty strong champion. So let's see what we pick to begin with. Not the best. We probably, yeah, we just take the Winterfin. And then I would have guessed we take the Poet here because the other two are kind of useless. Yeah. And we get Rock. Easy pick for Rock there. Pick it in a second. We take money and roll one. And I'd imagine we're going to pick up the 2-1 Dragon, because we know we've got the Poet in our hand, and that provides a little bit of scaling anyway. Against Deathwing, who has Divine Shield, so we've got no hope there. We level and buy another Dragon, the same one. We know, because we had the money from last turn, we're able to do that. But again, we're against Divine Shields. But we get a lucky draw there, so we're chilling. And I imagine we're just going to level here. Play down the Poet. It's a 10-7 Divine Shield, and now the 2 Dragonlings are going to keep their stats from each fight, so it's pretty good to get early. On turn 5, it's not a bad board. So I'm thinking about using my gold efficiently here. So we just buy the staff, and then double buy the Dragon health buffer and the guy that gives Wind Fury. I can't remember any damn names today. But we end up getting a draw there, which was lucky for him. And then we get our first Elemental of the game. Let's go. And we end up getting the cleave from that. And we level again. We're just trying to level aggressively because we know we've got the Poet, we've got the 2 Dragonlings which are keeping their stats. So we are scaling a bit. We're pretty strong, we're pretty healthy, and we know we've got a Rock when we hit 6. So I think we just end up leveling again, yeah. And we keep the Rock in hand because it changes each turn it's on board from buffing attack and health, and ideally we want it to buff attack on its first go, so we keep it in hand for that, so that it's not going to buff health next turn. We've got an 11% win chance here, 6.5% tie, and it's looking pretty good for us here. Yep, we end up getting lucky for once in our damn lives. Get the 11% win. Can't complain. And now we are... Oh, I ended up selling the Elemental there, the hopes of getting one from the Reef Explorer, but we didn't get lucky. These rolls are absolute dog shite. There's no Elementals at all. We get the Golden Touch from the Panda. Play the Rock down, see what triple we get. Yeah, not the best. Eliza just for tempo. And I don't think there's much else we can do this turn, is there? Just play one more Elemental, maybe? No, we have to go for the Fire Dancer. Maybe he's playing Dragon. Oh no, he was playing Mechs, that's why. So it's a 99% win. We clean that up easily and find the Bran on the next turn, which we're going to take. And now we're just basically cycling, looking for elementals, looking for recycling wraith, all that jazz basically. Not that much luck on the rolls here. We get the panda that gives us spells. Obviously we've got Bran down, and we get the Eyes of the Earth Mother from it. I think we'll end up using Eyes of the Earth Mother on Poet here. We don't really have another good target. Maybe we should have kept it, but obviously with the rolls not being that good, we don't have that much tempo, so I felt like we needed to play it on Poet, which we're probably going to be out of very soon. We pick up the Nala and sell the 2 Misfit Dragonlings. We're trying to full pivot here into Elementals. We just picked up the Naga because we've got the Nala because we've got a few Tavern spells in hand, so why not? And we pick up Drakisath here to get the double attack battle cry, and then we use them both on the Nightbane just to give our board a bit of attack. We find a Tethys which we buy, and we get rid of the Nala. There's a fungus in shop, so we use the shell out on it. Very nice. And yeah, that's it for that turn. This guy's looking fairly large. Oof, we get another lucky tie there. We're really just looking for the elementals. We want Celementals and the Battle Cry Elemental that gives you elementals. But we're just sort of working with what we've got here. Cycling Scout, get the Shelemental down, a bit more buffs. Use one of it in there, and we find another Drakisath. And we end up taking the triple with the shield on the Shelemental. Not the ideal triple, but you know, it's something. Use the buffs on the Nightbane obviously, so Nightbane might be a bit more of a permanent unit now. It might be one of our flex slots that we can use. Use both the shell outs on the 11-16 in shop, and we pick up the Naga Trigger Battle Cry to use on the Tavern Tempest there for more elementals, more scaling with Rock. We get another Drakisath, use it on the Nightbane, and get a Leroy to end on. So pretty good. We managed to use all our gold, but we're still looking for a few key components. I think we're probably going to end up keeping the Tavern Tempest on board because with the Naga it just works so well. The Naga and Bran. 15% win here. Looks like our luck's finally running out. We end up taking damage there. So we're going to cycle again. Obviously we're picking up every Drakisath because it buffs the Nightbane. We hit a triple on the Rock, very nice. So now we can start scaling a bit better. Use all our shell outs on the bull in shop. We don't really want to triple another Shelemental because it's not really a permanent unit we want. Or we decide we don't want to that turn, and then we end up doing it anyway. So, you know, sometimes you just do stuff, don't you? Hopes of hitting another Rock, and we do. Trying to decide what to do here, and we end up selling that golden Shelemental that we just got. You love to see it. Play the Rock, sell the other golden Shelemental. We don't have a buff shop, so we're trying to play around Rock here really, not the Shelemental. But we've got a big Nightbane at least, which gives out, what, 133 damage to 2 units in combat, so it's pretty good. So we keep on using the Trigger Battle Cry on the Tavern Tempest here to try and get some more elementals. With Bran works quite well, some like 2 free elementals per turn. And you can see the genie still in. Oh, look what we got there. We finally found a Wraith on turn 14. So we keep the Wraith obviously. I use the Divine Shield guy that triples with anything just for a roll there. Maybe that's a bad idea, but you know, I feel like we were lacking in stats a bit here. Find another Wraith there, but we just skip it. I don't think we have time to try and find a golden Wraith here. Find another Tavern Tempest, really nice. And we're just cycling anything that's vaguely money or has a chance to give us money or a battle cry or anything good basically. And we pick up the Quillwort, 3/3 Quillwort for the end of the fight. And we lose again there. This was You got to remember this was post-mech nerf. I mean pre-mech nerf. So yeah, it's a mech lobby, so playing elementals, you know, can be a bit tricky in the mid game. I mean, I guess this is late game, but we didn't really hit that well. So we're cycling here, end up selling the Naga. I'm not quite sure why we sold the Naga there, that seems like a bit of a mistake, but oh well. Pick up the Leroy for the final unit. We're just looking for more elementals. Elemental's great here. We're not exactly small, but we're not exactly big, and people have big deflecto bots, so let's see what happens. End up not finishing on the Leroy because I figured we'd be big enough, and I finish on the Frostling, which is a 5160. 35% chance to win here. He's out of resets on the Deflecto. Oh, his Deflecto had resets inside it. We need to kill all the microbots for a chance to stay alive here. Oh, he's 6 anyway, and it's... yeah, we're dead anyway. You can see a little sad face there. I felt like we were scaling fairly decently there. And of all the fights, that was one of the ones that I felt like we should have won, but... hey ho, that's how it goes. We still get a 4th place, so it's still plus elo. And for our final game of this video, we end up rolling dragons. We take Cookie here, and we go 3 on 3. We get a terrible selection from from our hero power there, but we just go with a dragon, obviously. Eat the dragon. On our next turn, we have a lovely shop of non-tier 3 units. The old Kradjik classic, level to tier 3 and have a terrible shop of tier 2 and 1s. So we end up taking damage from that. I do a little risky move here, taking the Faceless Disciple, and then we upgrade and we get very lucky and hit a Poet. So, you know, could you ask for a better start on a Dragons game? Maybe not. We ended up tying that fight, and I imagine we just level, level and take a Roaring Rallier. And then I think we use our hero power here for another dragon. Obviously there's none in shop, but we've ate some before, and we get the double Rallier. Nice start. Now every time, the Misfit's going to keep its stats anyway, and now every time it attacks it'll keep it, unless we put the Taragosa. Oh, it's pre-nerf, pre-dragon nerf as well, so you can see there I buy the Amber Guardian, which is still 3-drop. They nerfed that to a 5-drop, so yeah, dragons are still strong. We get the Divine Shield on the Taragosa on the first turn, very lucky, and it gets a lot of buffs from the Rallier. We end up finding another Poet there and another Amber Guardian, and we play them both, obviously. So now most of our board can keep all the stats that it's getting. The whole board, you can see, is nearly Divine Shielded. I wonder why they nerfed this. Turn 9 and you've got a full board of Divine Shield dragons. Very nice. 2 Amber Guardians divide themselves and now Divine Shield themselves, and now everything is Divine Shielded, and we end up drawing, so fair play to that guy. I guess we do have Divine Shield, but not that many stats. I'm thinking about the Poet Triple here. Normally I would advise against the Poet Triple, but I think we end up taking it anyway. Why not? For the YouTuber. I feel like you want to have 2 Poets next to each other so that they can like make each other's stats permanent, and then if you ever find the Yulon, then you can just get golden that way. Whereas if you triple it, then it's kind of tricky to keep the stats on the Poet, and you want stats on the Poet because it's a Divine Shield, and obviously you want it to be alive as long as possible because it's giving stats to all your other dragons, well, permanent stats to your other dragons. So we beat the Tess, feed the Tess a load of dragons. There you go, mate, have that. And next turn we find the Yulon, and I'm toying with the idea of getting eyes here. I think I'd probably, yeah, I do get eyes. I think I probably eyes the Nightbane, and then maybe cut the Amber Guardian or the Titus, I'm not sure. Everything's got Divine Shield that needs it, so yeah, we cut the titters, play the Yulon, and put the poet in the middle of the 2 roaring rallies because one of those is going to guarantee get golden from it, and we wanted to keep it obviously. So here we start scaling our attack with the Golden Nightbane and titters. Do we kill him? 12? No, not quite. He survives. We pick up another Nightbane. You really want 2 Nightbanes. I think, yeah, we end up selling the titters because with 2 Nightbanes, if they ever go on to each other, then the scaling is just crazy. So I feel like you don't really need the attack from the titters at that point. You know, if you want to go crazy with attack for fun, then fair enough. But we pick up the Dracosath because there's not much else to do, and we end up selling the Yulon. We've got most things golden that we want. We pick up Beetles because Beetles is OP in a dragon lobby, getting rid of Divine Shields. And yeah, that's basically going to be our board, I think. We've got the golden Death Scale, 2 Poets, and the Roaring Ralliers. I think, oh yeah, we know Tess is playing dragons actually, so a good counter to a dragon v dragon matchup is to get the Hag, and then you can give one of your dragons permanent reborn per turn. So if they hit it with a Divine Shield, I mean he's using a Fire Dancer there, even though he's dragons. I mean obviously he knows I'm dragons as well, but you know, interesting choice. So you see, I mean it didn't do much there, but when you give one of your dragons reborn, then it can get rid of one of their Divine Shields by becoming reborn, and therefore you more than likely to win with, like, if you're both high attack dragons, you're likely to win with just like 1 unit left. But yeah, anyway, we end up doing 15 to them, and we win our final game of dragons, and we get to nearly 5k. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, everyone. Thanks for watching, and there'll be another one soon. Cheers.